Hi everybody, today we're talking about testing the correlation coefficient row using Minitab. The correlation coefficient for a sample, which we denote as R, is a point estimate for the correlation coefficient of a population row. Remember, we're not testing the entire population. When we're looking for our linear regression, we generally have a sample. We want to test if the value of rho is close to 0 or different from 0. This means our null hypothesis is going to be that rho is equal to 0, and then the alternative hypothesis will be that rho is not equal to 0. As a first example, let's consider using data from 9 individuals during a cardio fitness test. The data gives us the heart rates and beats per minute immediately after exercise and the systolic blood pressure during recovery. We're going to take this data and go over to Minitab. Now we're going to go to Stat, Regression, Regression, Fit Regression Model. We're going to say our continuous predictor is the heart rate, and the response is the blood pressure. And then let's look at our options. Notice the confidence level for the interval is 95. If you're given a confidence interval where you need to adjust it, make sure you come to the options to put in the confidence level you're being asked for. We are doing a two-sided confidence interval because we're looking at an alternative hypothesis that it says it is not equal to 0, which means we have to do two-tailed. Let's hit OK. In our summary, we can see a t-value of 11.19, which is very far to the right, which of course then gives us a p-value equal to 0. Because we have a p-value equal to 0, which is lower than our confidence level of 0.05, we get to reject the null hypothesis. This tells us there is enough evidence to show there is a correlation between the heart rate after exercise and the systolic blood pressure during recovery. Let's try a second example. This time the length and weight of oak dining room tables are tested at the 1% level for a correlation between length and weight. This time we have a lot more data to work with. Now that I've copied and pasted my data into a new worksheet, I'm going to go back to Stat, Regression, Regression, Fit Regression Model. Our continuous predictor is going to be the length, and our response is going to be weight. Our thought is the longer the table, the more it's going to weigh. Let's go back to our options, and this time we are asked to test at the 1% level. This means I put in a confidence interval of 99. We're keeping it as two-sided, and now we say OK and OK. Our summary of values again gives us a large t-value of 5.61, which means we still have a really small p-value. We can adjust the settings a little if we want to see more decimal places. I'm going to hit the drop down, go to Table Options, and I'm going to go to Custom. On the Custom, I decided to put in 6 decimal places so I can see the p-value a little closer. You can see I have a bunch of zeros and then a 1, but this shows me that the p-value wasn't actually 0, just a number really close to it. Since we have a really small p-value, our p-value is less than 0.01, which is the alpha we were given. We get to reject the null hypothesis, which says there is a relationship between the length of the table and the weight.